Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Hey, look here, we got Champion Brewing's Missile IPA. Guys, I reviewed this. I had somebody send me one or bring me one last January of 2015. So about a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half ago. And it was several months old. It was right at the end of its shelf life, and it was a decent beer, but it wasn't an A beer at the time because it had a little age on it, being an IPA, and everybody, all of us know you're not supposed to sell your IPAs. But I did appreciate it being able to try it because it wasn't distributed here in this part of Virginia. And they're out of Charlottesville, Virginia, but now it is distributed here. So we're going to re-review this one. I'm reviewing this one on the 1st of August 2016. And this has a canned on date of June 8th, 2016. So not quite 2 months old. I've had this beer probably about 4 or 5 days. And it was the freshest ones they had at the store here. So still within the 3 month shelf life that I give IPAs. So, and like I tell you guys all the time, the beer distribution in Virginia sucks. Even though it's done in Virginia, it still takes them a month to get it into the stores. And it's only 2 hours up the road. So it's horrible, guys. I told you on several beer reviews ago, I went into the store, in the Kroger store, the local Kroger store, and they had Bell's 200 Ale, had a March date on it. So it's horrible. It's horrible here in Virginia. They let this stuff sit in the warehouse and I just don't understand it. It doesn't take that long to get a beer into the store from the brewery, but they let it sit. I'm sure that's the factor, because the brewery's not going to send out old beer. They don't want that to happen. So, well, let's review this one. This is, like I said, Champion Brewing Missile. Very colorful artwork on the front. It says Missile IPA. On the back side, it's got 7% alcohol, 65 IBUs. And they've been brewing beer since 2012, it says right here. American India Pale Ale with firm bitterness and intense citrusy hop aromas, made with two-row pale ale malts and dry hop with Simcoe, which is a very tasty hop, Cascade Summit, and more for the full experience of an American IPA. So we got the ABV, we got the IBUs, and we got the canned on date right on the bottom. That's the way it's supposed to be done, guys. Thumbs up to those guys up there at Champion. I bought a whole 6-pack of this, because I got a feeling it's going to be a tasty beer. So, and I usually don't do that. I usually don't, but I'd already had it, but it was an older can. I said, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt this time. So let's see what this one brings to the table. The commercial description here on Red Beer is the same as what I read off the back of the can here. So, food pairings for this is going to be your typical IPA, curried in Thai cuisine. Cheeses are peppery, Monterey pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, stronger cheeses, and the meat is poultry, fish, shellfish, salmon, and I will add grilled meat to that. Glass bars, pint, bacchanalic tumbler, mug, stein, Seidel. I'm using my favorite tulip glass, the Sovereign beer glass, and not recommended for extended cellaring. So let's get it in the glass. Very nice looking beer coming out. About a finger of head on that pour over into the light. Very clear, looks like a filtered beer to me, nice amber color. Let's get a nose on this. Very citrusy, nice piney grapefruit smell. Wonderful smelling beer. Hints of pineapple and some tropical fruit notes and oranges and tangerines. The typical wonderful aromas that you're going to get from a nice, well-brewed American style IPA. Almost smells to the west, almost like a West Coast style. Very hoppy, very, very hoppy. Very nice aroma. First beer of the day. Let's get it on. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's nice. Very hoppy, very tasty, very citrusy. Nice piney grapefruit pineapple taste. A little bit of dankness in there. A nice hop malt balance to that beer. Not super bitter on the back end, like a lot of IPAs are. Only 65 IBUs, so it's not up in the 70s, 80s in the IBU category. Very nice beer. Very, very tasty beer. Kind of glad I bought a 6-pack of these. Plus it's 7%. It's not a 5%er. So got a little bit of oomph to it. So, well, let me take it back and let her have a sip 2 or 3, and we'll sip on it for a little bit, and I'll come back and do the final job. Alright guys, I've been sipping on this probably about 30 minutes or so. Very tasty. It's definitely up to room temperature now. Very nice beer. I mean, I can't think of a single thing that I would change on this beer. Other than throw a little bit more hops in there, but it is fairly hoppy. I mean, it's not over the top hoppy. Like I said, it's close to the West Coast style, but not quite there. And a lot of the breweries don't want to have that super hoppy, piney, grapefruity taste if they're trying to get transitional beer drinkers to try their stuff. So, but I enjoyed this. It was very tasty. Let's do the final chug. Very nice. Very, very nice beer. A great beer, and I consider it a local beer, being done in Charlottesville, Virginia, which is only a couple hours from me. I haven't been to the brewery up there, but I think it's a very tasty beer. 7%, very well hidden, nice piney grapefruity taste. Like I said, not to the West Coast style, but a very good East Coast style. So with that being said, guys, when I did the beer review in January 2015, the can was a little older, I think, than what this can is, which is lucky for me because the beer is set forever in the warehouses around here before it gets to the stores. But the mentality of the brewer, the people who control the beers here in Virginia are the same ones that control the distribution of Budweiser, Miller, Coors. And they make a lot more money on those beers, and those beers have a lot more shelf space than these beers do. And they have controlled that ever since Prohibition around here. So they'd rather push those shitty beers and make a lot more money than provide shelf space for these kind of beers. That's just the way it is. It sucks, but it's reality. So with this one, last time I gave this a B+. I think it's a little bit better than that now. I'm going to give it the 8, which is the A-. I could just as easily give it the 9, but it's not quite to the super hoppy presence that I would tend to give a 9 beer. So, but it is still very delicious, and I will probably buy it again. It is very, very tasty, especially since it's got the IBUs, the ABV, and the canned on date right on the can. All the information we need. So, very tasty, guys. A beer in my opinion. So with that being said, we'll go over to Beer Advocate, and I'm going to go against the grain on all these guys. They say 83, which is in a good range. I think it's much better than an 83. That's why, if I was putting a numeric rating on this guy, it would probably be a 90 or a 91. Probably a 91, since it's got all the information on the package here. So over to Rate Beer, they say 71 overall and 47 in the styles. And like I tell you guys a lot of times, that these guys that do the reviews for Rate Beer and Beer Advocate, unless it blows their hair back of their socks off, they're not impressed. But this is a decent beer. It's definitely worth picking up. Now, if you're in the vicinity and you can pick up Pliny or Heady Topper or something from Treehouse or Trillium, this is not going to compare to those guys. It's just not. It's not made for that. As much as I would like to see a local brewery brew a beer of that magnitude and that tasty, it's just not happening around me right now. It's just not. So, like I told you guys before, we're going to keep going on with the Untapped site. The Untapped site, they're giving it a 3.56. I still think it's better than that. So, and a lot of these guys, and they've had 397 people this month. Well, that says monthly. I don't know if 397 people have had this beer today. Maybe in the last 30 days. 15,876 total, says on this. But it's got 7% ABV, 65 IBUs. So it's got the information that we need on the can. So, and I don't know what the distribution is on this. It's now in the Roanoke area, even though it's only done a couple hours up the road. I don't know what the distribution is on these guys. So if you can pick it up, give it a try. And if you've had it, let me know what you think. This is the re-review of the Missile IPA from Champion Brewing Company. Very well done. I enjoyed it. All right, if you've had it, let me know, guys. And come on back tomorrow. Let's take something out of the fridge. See everybody then.